What's up, Dan?
CJ's in studio. Today it's me, CJ, and Buddy.
Dan is also in studio.
Thank you. Thank you, CJ. Most people don't do that. They don't
I'm in studio.
They're like, yeah, I'm in studio. Yeah. So thank you for introducing me. I have a little challenge for you. I played the drums.
You like recently?
Yeah, like this was today. I made sure you weren't home, so you couldn't hear it.
I was home all day.
God damn it.
The entire day.
I still doubt you heard it.
I will say I didn't hear it. I was in meetings. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, the next door neighbor was using my mower to cut his back grass.
Okay.
I also had him...
I heard the mowing happening.
Yeah, I had him cut his grass in the back and his grass in the front.
Hold up.
I know.
Hold
the
up.
agreement.
You sent me video of this guy shoveling your front stairs, and you said you were supposed to mow his lawn for that. I gave you shit about that.
I even have some listeners that were like, so you cut your neighbor's grass too, and I'm like, no, because this was like 2 days ago. I'm talking to a listener, and a great guy I met while we were doing work and stuff. So he's like, yeah, so you cut your front grass, back grass, and your neighbor's front, right? And I'm like, really good listening, thank you, because I was previously in the podcast, because his job is to shovel snow. And I said, no, okay, so this week...
And you sent video of him shoveling snow to me this winter.
I was just proud of him, man. I'm proud of the guy. He's out there. It's still snowing, and he was out there shoveling.
He knew how much he didn't want to have to mow this summer. That's why he did it.
It's a self-propel. It's not that bad. But no, I've been... my work life during the week has been very active, morning and nights, right. a lot of stuff. So I had like an hour free. And then I saw Pauline's grass cutting people, and I was like, here's 20. Do my front grass.
Is that what you did?
I did that, yeah.
Oh, my God.
My first time ever paying someone.
I had $20. I should have done that.
Yeah. I just threw him 20, and he's like, how about the back grass? I was like, I was expecting you to do the back grass. Not for $20. Like, nowadays, it's like 45 to get your grass cut at a townhouse.
And, yeah, with the postage stamp lawns that we actually have here.
Yeah, I can do my front grass in 6 minutes with a weed whacker. I don't know why it's still $20, but whatever. These guys are professionals.
You're paying for the gas for everybody.
Whatever.
Because they're not plugging anything in. They got the full gas power.
They do use electric.
You're kidding
electric
me.
blower and electric. I don't know about the weed whacker. I wasn't really well. I was out there fixing my car, so I had to get my car. I was working on my headlights.
The red one?
Yeah, no, actually my truck. Sorry.
Where's the red one?
The red one's up back.
It is. Okay.
I moved it a foot backwards.
How do you have that much fucking room back there? You have a car and a boat.
It's a really big pad. And it's a big boat, right?
The boat took up the whole damn thing. How do you have a car there?
I still have like 4 more foot. I'm thinking about putting the 2 wave runners to the right of the boat.
Get a motorcycle in there too.
What's it, like 18-foot wide property we have?
About that, yeah.
It's not
18 to 20-ish, depending on where the fences got put.
Yeah. I had to cut one of the fences down.
Oh, of course, the end units are longer. Both end units are a lot wider.
Yeah.
Nick's got more room.
I almost bought Nick's house before they bought theirs.
But when you already had this one?
Yeah, no. Before their house was like 165 or marketed or 175.
And this one was like 140.
This was 150
50
something, and I got it for like 140.
Okay.
So I was like, do I want to cut that grass?
Right.
I've had a big house before. Like,
right. That's just more work.
Man, I could barely. Yeah. So this week was really rough for me. So I gave him $20, and then I told Nick actually cut the neighbor's front grass the last time. I didn't even get to it. Nick cut. This is what
this guy's.
Yeah. So it's Nick's house, our neighbor, and then me.
Right.
So Nick cuts his front grass, cuts the neighbor's grass, didn't cut mine.
Was it just?
I'm not expecting Nick, but
just
I'm like,
for the hell of it. You know what? That was his wife. His wife was all like,
I've never seen her.
I don't want. No. She wasn't cutting the grass. She's the one who said cut their grass too because I don't want our walkway looking like shit.
I haven't had a wife for a long time, so I haven't seen.
I know how they think.
Yeah, I'm a little distant, and that's a good thing. I enjoy being single. I really do. So the front lawn got mowed by somebody else, $20. And then I went and I texted my neighbor and I said, do his back grass. And I said, while you're at it, Nick cut your grass last time. You should cut his and your front because I don't have time for any of this stuff.
Right.
This week. I mean, all summer long, I'm like, I'll be fine. This is a very special.
Backing Nick up. You're like, you need to get his.
Yeah, you got to get his stuff. Even though he didn't do my grass when he cut. You know what I mean? It's only another. We just said that 18 foot.
But I would only do over to here because I wouldn't want to be able to have to push over all those rocks and stuff.
3 foot. Come
got
on,
those
man.
rocks
You don't have to go over them. You go around them. I got a little bit. My front sidewalk has big rocks. I had a Hispanic guy named Rudy. I said, Rudy, we're at a job site, and I said, you see these rocks? He's like, see, rocks. Right? See? Yes. I was like, okay, he doesn't speak any English at all. I was like, rocks. Rock. I'm holding a rock. I was like, rock.
He's like,
see?
All these rocks.
I was like, I need mucho rock. A lot of rock, mucho rock. And I was like, I said,
dinero.
Paquito dinero. I said, Paquito dinero.
And $20, $40?
15.
Oh, dude.
So he walked around. What? Come on.
You're a ripoff.
He's already getting paid by the company we're working for. So Rudy's a good guy. He really is. He's such a kind person. He's a good worker. It's just there's a language barrier.
Right.
So I said, Paquito dinero, mucho rocky. Like circle. And so I came back like 3 days later, and there's a freaking pile of, because we're just digging holes in dirt, right? There's rocks all over the place.
Right. And he's like, I can pick out rocks.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I gave him $10 for what he got the day I was there, because we put a lot in the truck.
Right.
And then I came back like 3 days later to the job site, and there was a circle of rocks. Like it took a while.
A pile of them.
Yeah. And there were good ones. I said, I want them to be smooth. I kind of like showed him the sample that I wanted. So I have to the left of my sidewalk a big, nice little rock slough.
It does look nice.
Thank you.
You need to spray that thing down with some poison, though. I saw some.
Oh yeah, no, I need to do some
just
Paquito spray.
Poison everything in those rocks.
I've done that, yeah. And and then generally, here's a tip for our listeners: if you have rocks outside that look kind of dull, clear coat. Just one can of whatever clear coat, anything.
Shine them up.
Yeah, it lasts a good 2 to 3 months.
Nice.
It's a tip from one of my aunts. She loves rocks.
That's a good call. I wouldn't have even thought of it. My wife probably would have thought of it.
Auntie. So okay. So what we're going to hear on this podcast, it takes me 20 minutes to get to this. We're gonna have an announcement. In a few, I don't know exactly when, but coming up in this season. I got word. I've been meeting with. Do you know who I've been meeting with every Saturday?
Every Saturday? No, I've heard of one meeting. And some calls.
3 Saturdays.
And some calls.
We are going to, and I got the okay from him to say this. Okay. I think he's coming in studio. I don't know if he's going to make the trek here or not, but so you guys haven't heard from us for 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks.
I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I cut the tip of my finger off.
Oh my God, a router with a router.
This was Thursday at 4:00.
Dude came to my house. Like, what should I do? Go to the fucking hospital.
I'm out back of my house routing oak and pushing the oak bar, I guess an oak chunk of wood through, and I'm putting it's a half-inch high. It's a drawer slider is what I'm making out of oak. And I'm pushing it in incorrectly. Thank you, listeners, for not writing 1,000 things saying, don't do that. I get it now.
Another thing you told me is you were routing pine prior. So you might not have had the right setting for the router.
Oh, yeah. I had it at low setting.
Right.
I didn't speed up the setting. I completely forgot about that.
So that might have probably caught the oak because it wasn't going fast enough.
And my boss, who is a very wise man, said, I bet you went in from the right to the left, didn't you? And I said, I did. Because that was like
coming towards you?
Normally I was going left to right. Yeah, I'm pushing against a fence, like a wall. Right. And it's a thing sticking out of the table, sticking vertically out of the table, about a half-inch high. It's a routing bit. You can go whatever RPMs. I'm just going to spitball here, 1,000 RPMs to 4,000, right? Mm-hmm. I was at roughly 1,000 RPMs because I was doing pine. And it's easy.
Soft wood,
easy. Boom, boom, boom. And so I'm pushing softwood through, making channels and wood. And then I switched over to oak, and I did not make it at 4,000 RPMs because, man, that stuff is way
harder.
Harder wood.
Wood, yeah.
I mean, it's more solid, more dense, whatever you call it. So I'm shoving this thing through, and then the channel was made. CJ, this was the very last piece. I was like, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to clean up this channel. So I went into...
it was doing the extra work that really did you in here?
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going to make it nice and clean because it would have been fine. I could have just installed the part and it would have been fine. But I was like, I'll go through. And I went from the right to the left because I was like, there's not much oak. It's just a tiny bit of sliver, like the first
There's
run.
no way anything could go wrong.
Yeah, why should I use a pusher stick like I'm supposed to, right? So I go from the right to the left, thinking that's not going to change because it's not much wood I'm pushing through. The thing shot out into my neighbor's yard at whatever, like a gun, like a bullet. Boom, shoots out. My finger's pushing down and over to the left, and my middle. This is my middle, right? My middle left hand.
The FU finger.
I lost a sugar cube worth of Dan.
Yeah, and there are pictures. If anybody would like to see them, please
nobody's fucking getting those pictures.
Know.
They are so. It's like The Walking Dead. It's gross.
It's surprisingly not as bad as you would think it would be for someone routing their finger off.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of hitting a snare drum. Click. Just one hit. That's all it was. Just a tick. And the way I did this.
When did you actually feel it? It was probably like.
It was as I was approaching your front porch.
Yeah,
I got CJ and I were supposed to. It was 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we were supposed to do a show.
I was going to stop at 6 o'clock, and I was like, "Oh, I just got this last. I'm going to finish this job, right?" So I was like, "I'm just going to push this thing through." 6:04 hit. I was like, "Oh man, I got to really get this going." So I'm like getting ready to clean everything up, and I was like, "I'm just cleaning one more thing." I could have done it with sandpaper, really, but because we record at 7, so I show up at CJ's house at 6:06. With a yellow rag wrapped around my finger, said, "I need a second opinion on what this is."
He called me first.
Oh, yeah.
He was like,
I had the medical.
"Hurry up, I have a medical emergency while I'm taking a shit."
Oh, nice, CJ.
Man, I'm in the middle of this. But I was like, now I got to wipe off fast.
I love how these details all come out. Nice.
But I did wash my hands before I came out because he said it was a medical thing. I didn't want.
Yeah, you didn't want me to show up with an arm falling off.
And I didn't want my poop particles getting on
Jesus,
you.
Man. Wow.
But I figured that it was not going to be. When you said medical, I figured it wasn't a splinter here.
No, yeah, I wouldn't show up at your house because I knew that you were going to be available at 7. So I'm like, at least somebody is ready.
He's around. Yeah.
Yeah. He's around. So and. Obviously, we don't have Nick here today.
That's when he was out of town too. Though.
Nick was out of town, was he? Yeah, we were calling him in for that podcast. That was what we were supposed to do. Yeah. Call Nick in. So I ended up spending the rest of the day until 2:30 in the morning getting hand surgery at Union Memorial. I've been told that, and everybody, doctors, the hospital, my friends that are nurses, everyone said Union Memorial has the best hand facility.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering why you didn't go somewhere kind of closer to where we were, but that makes sense.
Well, first I went to Express Care.
And they said, we don't take your shit.
We don't take your stuff. And I'm like, well, that's going to be a big bill. So so then I went to Patient First because that's where, that's the next step. That's the next opinion.
If anybody is questioning, I did offer to drive him to all
these
places.
CJ said, get in the car, let's go. CJ did say, and I said, I'm not getting lightheaded. I'm not getting faintish. I'm not getting... I'm not seeing spots.
He wasn't bleeding too bad.
Yeah, well, my hand was like 4 foot above my head. I'm like, I was getting all throbby. But I told him, I said, CJ, I will pull over if I have any kind of feeling of anything, and I might call you. And so I had somebody standing by. And the places, we live in kind of a city.
Yeah, we're close to these places.
We're very close to these places. So I went to Patient First, and the guy, they give me, this is, and if you're squeamish, maybe fast forward 30 seconds. So I'm from... hitting now. Okay. So the guy, they put this water, sanitary water or some sort of saline water. Salt water. In a cup, and it had an inch left in it, like an inch of space left in the cup. And it's like a cup you would drink out of. So they were like, okay, so we're going to let you flush your finger out. I said, you want me to sit on the floor so I can have my hand? They put it on the table. I said, so my hand's above my head. They were like, no. I'm like, I don't think you understand what this is. Because I'm like, this is going to be a lot of blood. So my hand goes below my heart, and I put it in the cup. And I was like, you got more cups?
You're filling up.
I'm filling it up. I'm watching it rise. And
God.
The lady walks out of the room. I'm like, hey. I'm like, hey, ma'am, sir, doctor. Right? I'm like, help what? I just pulled it out because the cup went to the top.
And did you go back?
Went back up to what I was doing before. I was like, it's flushed. I don't know what else you want. I got a lot of blood in here, and they're like, your heart's right. Your heart rate's high. I'm like, yeah,
shit.
Fuck you. Of course. What do you think?
I just cut my finger off.
I have 7 slices in the tip of my finger, and I know that it's not going to live through it. So, anyway, so they ended it up. They said, we can't help you with that. That's ridiculous. So then I went to the hospital and I told my mother. I didn't call my mother at all. I show up at the hospital just where they told me to go. My mother calls. Hi, how are you? I'm like,
just on a whim.
Blue, we talk a lot. I love my mom. She loves me.
Right, but it's like she knew something was happening.
Yeah, she felt something. I don't know.
the force.
I love her support that she gives, but I was just like, I guess it was like 8:00, 9:00, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just getting I'm at the doctor's getting my finger looked at. She's like, oh, what happened? And I told her, and she's like, I'll be right there. I was like, no, seriously, Mom, it's fine. This place is a freaking chaotic mess. I don't really need any. I'm just sitting there playing solitaire on my phone, There's a movie playing on the TV. Everything's fine. It's all quiet.
Do you remember what movie you got?
It was Fast and Furious something.
No, one of them. Okay,
oh my God, it got so loud. She's like, "It's so loud in here." I'm like, "Well, I told you not to come." I literally said, "Mom, please don't come here." It's 45-minute drive for her.
She did come.
She shows up. I said, "Don't come." She's like, "Fine, I won't come." And then she shows up, and it was very nice of her, and I loved having her there. It was nice during the surgery because like they numb my hand up, and I could still feel the. Okay, squeamish again. Hit 30 seconds forward. He used like I think of like a rasp. Do you know what that is?
Like something to rough
cheese grater.
Up. Yes.
Right? Yes. I could feel it on my elbow. Like I couldn't feel it on my finger because the whole hand is just numb. But like
the nerve, the nerves were going all the way up your arm.
Like I felt like I dreamed of it. Like later on. Like,
do you have any fingernail whatsoever there?
No.
It's all.
I mean, it was when you saw it. It looked like a propeller.
Shards of fingernail growing out of your finger.
Yeah, it looked like a flower was growing. Oh, yeah, it's a good 7 hits on there. And 4 on the top and 2 or 3 on the bottom. And the ones on the bottom hurt worse than the top.
Because it like twisted your finger.
When finger went around 4,000 RPMs or something.
Yeah.
Whatever a Makita router does. Whatever. So there's tool nerds.
But the low end of it.
Yeah, that was lower, but still spinning fast. And these blades, they're 1/2 inch high. They're spinning.
I've used routers some. They're
I've never liked doing routers.
Me neither.
Well, this is no.
I didn't like them either.
If I had a stick, I'd still feel uncomfortable. I'll push a stick at me, but the channel, the wood is over top of the blade the whole time. So you feel safe. The wood, you're cutting into wood and you never see the blade until the wood's out. Well, the wood shoots out and then there's an open blade.
Right.
That's what happens. Anyway, we're going to move on. But I was...
what time did you actually get seen? Because you called me at midnight and you hadn't been to see the doctor yet.
Yeah. I think you texted me like, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
How you doing, guy? So, I woke up to pee, just seeing if you're doing all right. I got surgery was at like 1:45.
Oh, Jesus.
I got there.
That's when it started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was only 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's the emergency
Not
room.
Too bad.
The worst wait was, and so they said I needed to get before I'm going to say necrosis or whatever before my finger. Sorry, should I click that?
No. Necrosis means your finger's dead, though. Like
yeah, well, I mean, you got to put it back together. So before that hits, it was like 6 to 8 hours, and the doctor's like, "Well, there's no magic number." I'm like, "Well, that's even worse." Huh? Right? So let's get this shit going.
Let's hurry.
They were like, "Well, we have no rooms." So I'm like, "The whole hospital, there's no rooms?" They were like, "Well, the emergency department." I'm like, "I don't need to stay down here. There's 7, I don't know, 8. I'm in the basement of this place.
Of course.
There's 8 more stories. Put me in the closet and send a doctor in. I don't care. Put me in the hallway.
Just sew me up so I can get the hell out of here."
And they did great. I would never speak a foul word about Union Memorial Hospital. They were amazing. The people that frequent Union Memorial Hospital, there was something happening before I walked in. Man, there were security officers. People were screaming. And there was a gentleman that I'm gonna do my best impression of him, and I'm not making fun of him. Everybody's different. This guy has a voice that it reminds me of what they used to remove the excess stuff on my finger, a cheese grater. I'm gonna pull this microphone away here. It's gonna be loud for me at least. I need to go see a doctor.
Oh my!
And so he's talking.
For like hours.
Oh man, it was a good 35 minutes, and he's trying to, but he had no volume. I mean, that was the volume he had. He had no low and no high. When he talked, it was like that. So he's screaming at these people, and they're like, "Okay, sir, okay." And then the other woman walks in, and she was from the city, and she's screaming and yelling. I said this and I said that, and just with her hand, and then her friend comes in, and then there was more people, and I was like, you guys need to go outside. This is a mess. The emergency.
Can y'all leave, because I need to get my fucking finger dealt with.
And at that point, I'm like, I hope my mom shows up soon. But no, it was fine. They diffused the situation. Whatever it was, I just was like, Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious. So CJ, I get a call from Kate.
Yeah.
And this is a neighbor. This is why people live in townhouses, and we call this what, a community?
A neighborhood.
Yeah, neighborhood.
Yes, neighborhood community.
We're all in the same building. So Nick's wife. So Kate calls, and Kate's been on the podcast. You'll hear her on the horses. Her and I moved horses around.
Number 4 or 5.
Yeah, podcast 3, podcast or 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. She's on 2 of them, and they're really good stories, by the way. If you are starting up listening, go back, listen to Kate's. She's such a nice, kind person, and
very nice.
So she calls me, and she's like, Nick is out of town. I'm home alone, and there's people out front knocking on my door, right?
Yes.
Doing something, like multiple people.
Right. I heard from Nick afterward that they were leaning up on the door to look through the windows and stuff like that.
Yeah. Tell me what you heard.
I heard that after the fact, but yes, you called me and said, "Hey, could you go check this out?"
Yeah, I wasn't home. I was in the surgery.
Right. So I, in my drunken stupor, walked outside, and it was 3 teenagers that had gotten the address from.
You called them horny teenagers.
They were 3 horny teenagers who had gotten a text message from some person, a lady friend of theirs, who gave them that address, Nick's address. It was in the text.
Yeah, it was in there, and
it was like, "Hey, this is." I think her name was Nala or whatever in the text message. "My address is here. Come on by." So I think they were just trying to get laid, and she knew that and was trying to throw them off.
Yeah. So she was freaking out. She's like, "Dan, there's people out front of my house. I don't know what to do." I said, they're going to see you. And I got the phone call, and I was like, well, Nick can't do anything. He's in wherever he is. So
he was far away.
He is far away, like 3-4 hours, whatever. Yeah. So, and poor Kate. So I said, I can't help you, Kate. I'm in the hospital. She's like, "Oh my God, what?" I was like, "Don't worry about that. Go downstairs right now. They'll see you. I get it. Lock the doors. Make sure everything's locked. That's what. That way you're secure. And we're going to handle this, but I need you to do that first. Make sure the doors are locked. I know you think they're locked, but if there are people thinking they're walking into a house because someone said just walk in, you need to make sure that they know, hey, it's locked. Okay, well, they might not be bad people. They could be.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But could be.
So they could be bad people. So I said, make sure all doors, front, back, basement, locked. So she did that. She's like, "Oh my God, they saw me." I'm like, "I know. They're going to see you. They're allowed to see you. It's okay. We're going to settle this." And I said, "I can't help you. I have to hang up. I have to call CJ." And CJ, the real man of the hour.
The man of the hour.
Holy crap. CJ was like, it took him 30 seconds or so from what I remember. And then I got CJ and Kate on the phone at the same time. And CJ went over, knocked it out.
Yep. I just, "Hey guys, how's it going? What are you looking for?"
Looking for some gal or something.
They told me that's their story, and they showed me the text, and I was like, "You got the wrong place." And they were like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, she doesn't live there, and to tell you the truth, there's a good chance she's already called the cops. You might want to go."
Yeah. Fair warning. I'll back you up if you want, but you may have some police interaction happening.
Like, there's a good chance the police have been called. So
fair opportunity.
I'd suggest getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, so I would have immediately handled it, but I could not, and CJ handled it because I would, we have a tier system, and I would have called Pauline next, and that would or Tracy,
What about this guy?
I called him first.
You did?
Yeah, I called him first.
I mean, it was midnight.
No, wait, it was midnight.
It was midnight. Yeah, people might not be.
No, I don't know. I didn't expect immediate answers from anyone. So then I got the guy across the street. We all know each other.
Right.
That's the best thing. I would have never called the guy in the corner because I don't like him.
Yeah, we've heard that. I don't know if you've actually talked about it on here, but I've heard that.
He's not a horrible guy. He drinks a lot. No, see, if you're a person that drinks a lot and you get angry when you drink, that means you're not supposed to drink.
You should chill on that.
Yeah, or lock yourself in like a werewolf. Like a werewolf. you make a room where the cage and you change and you stay in the cage and you wake up naked and you're like nobody died.
Chain yourself down.
Yeah. Isn't that what they do in the werewolf movies? They have like a room.
Yeah, that they supposedly can't get out of. They always get out of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a movie.
Mickey Coachella. I don't know if we actually said his name. Mickey Coachella. This podcast is also brought to you by Dan's ADHD. So we bounce around. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you don't, go to another podcast. But
or write in and tell us you don't like it.
Yeah, I'll have CJ lead if you want. We're both leading equally. It's CJ's one of our hosts here. He's a co-host.
I'm a co-host.
And I'm surprised he hasn't said the word sports yet, but we're going to get to sports in a little bit. Where are we? We're a couple days after Memorial Day.
We are. And
on 2024.
2024. The O's are in second place in the AL East at the moment, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
I hold on. Mickey Coachella.
Mickey Coachella.
I said his name. Come on, CJ.
You said sports, too.
I know. I did say sports. Oh, my God. He jumps right into it. I was just saying. Okay. Love CJ. So, Mickey Coachella is going to be our guest coming up sometime this season. Man, this guy is really good. He's a national comedian, known worldwide. He's on YouTube. He's on... I've heard him on XM Radio, Comedy Greats and things.
Let's not forget his stint with our largest radio station in
Baltimore. My God, he worked for 98 Rock for 9 years.
Yeah, long time there.
He was on Mickey and Amelia's show. I listened to almost every morning. He was on there for 4 years, and things change. And he's currently still MCing. He taught me how to MC. What is an MC, CJ?
They are the people that introduce the real acts.
What does MC stand for?
Master of Ceremonies?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Trivia guy. What we were going to do this week, if Nick was here, we were going to give you some more trivia stuff. Oh. I love hearing you do people love the trivia.
Well, you also said you had a challenge.
I do have a challenge. I played, so this in about 5 minutes, we're going to get into, I played something on the drums. And I want to see how fast you're like, that's what this is.
Probably songs that I have heard before.
I know that you know the answer. I just want to see how fast you get it. Because I did it a few times while he was cutting the lawn, our neighbor. And I don't want to just say I can't talk about it without giving away any hints.
I get that.
So I think you're going to like it. I haven't really played much drums on the podcast.
How's drumming with the finger?
That's just with the finger, yeah.
You're right. Is it changed?
It's fine. I've played shows with 2 mop sticks.
Yeah, but have you done it with broken fingers?
I've had no.
You're right.
That's yes,
different.
Yeah. I broke my arm once, but I wasn't professionally playing back then. I had a broken arm and a broken ankle and a broken leg, and I never stopped playing.
Oh, was that post the motorcycle accident?
This was way back in the day. With my broken arm, I was, I think, 13 or 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, broken arm. I mean, it was really broken, though. It was bad. But you end up learning how to play like Def Leppard,
Right? Just really hard with the one arm.
Not hard, just technical. I did a few recordings with it. I can't say that I had the best grip in the world. It is my middle finger, and that's a big
gripper.
It's a big used. Isn't
that where you float?
The fulcrum, yeah.
Once you float your sticks on there.
Float sticks on there, but I got 3 other fingers and a thumb, right. So
use them up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to get that set up. You want to get into sports while I set that up?
Yeah, I can do some sports talk.
Something about the Orioles.
I did. The Orioles have been doing pretty well. I wish they were in first. They're in second place right now, but only behind by about a game and a half. They did win their series against the Boston Red Sox most recently, 2-1. They swept the Chicago White Sox over Memorial Day weekend. And prior to that, I believe they lost 3 in a row. Their first series sweep against them in 2 years. No, 1 year.
I'm sorry I'm not helping you out here. I'm not aware.
No, you're fine.
Nick's normally like, yeah, I'll just keep saying, yeah.
Yeah. So that was disappointing. First series sweep against us since Adley Rutschman came up. So he wasn't a big fan of that either. The NHL and NBA championships are still a-rolling, and I have no idea what's going on.
The WNBA, are women still playing?
Women just started. their season.
They're always late.
All of the stars of the most recent draft are being hyped up. There's like 3 big names. Angel Reese who's from Baltimore, I believe is playing in Chicago for their WNBA team that I don't know the name of. And there's a couple others too. I got no idea what any of the team names or their names are. So sorry about that, guys. If you'd like me to learn that stuff, you have to write in and tell me you want to hear about it. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yes. Yes.
He just mentioned Howard Stern while we were on a little break here. Howard Stern's really matured a lot.
He better have.
I mean,
he sure as hell wasn't in the 90s.
No, I mean, he's still okay. Did you know
when did he move to Sirius? Because that was probably in the middle 2000s.
4 or 5? No, not middle 2000s.
Yeah, there's 2004, 2005 sounded about right.
Really?
Maybe before.
I've been paying for Sirius XM since I was in
$8.99.
I was getting out of high school, and I got my first Sirius XM little. They used to have a little receiver. You had the dog on there, yeah. You had a receiver and had big buttons because it's the 2000s
for old people.
Big buttons. Well, they only had like 9-10 buttons, and I've never been a fan of the audio quality. Being an audio person, I enjoy high quality, hi-fi stuff, and I have a hard time putting out podcasts because it's like they ask you when you're exporting it, do you want it to be how many kbps's or whatever?
You want that 24.
Oh man, I always want to go hi-fi, like really. But then the file's like 900 megabytes.
Right.
And I've had issues where I put a podcast out and I go to listen to it and I'm like, where's the end of the podcast? It's like my agent person that my agent, whatever you call it, the agent company.
The podcast people.
The podcast elves. They when you give the elves your stuff, they only allow you a certain amount, but they don't tell you. So they just leave off the last of your podcast.
Oh, they just cut out the last 15 minutes or whatever.
I'm like, where's such and such? What the hell?
Now, would you be able to pay more and get more?
I use Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout's pretty good. They broadcast us over 19 different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Deezer.
I actually got rid of one of them because it started downloading all sorts of stuff. I was like, what? I'm hitting delete. It wasn't our stuff. It was all these other podcasts. I'm like, well, okay, out. I think it was Castbox.
Okay.
I don't recommend Castbox.
And it just forced it on you?
Yeah, forcing downloads on my phone.
No consent whatsoever.
Bad enough I can't get people to hit the download button from our podcast, but it's all of a sudden, I'm downloading everyone else's.
They're just sticking their pods right in your phone.
Podcast, I don't want to use the R word,
but that.
Yeah, that. There are YouTube's. You're not allowed to say that word on YouTube. Not allowed to say certain things.
Not allowed to say dead. That's why people say unalive. It's so dumb.
Well, they have. Yeah, that it's best to not try. And we are on YouTube. I don't recommend going on YouTube for our podcast because it's not specifically doesn't give us credit, but it is a good promotional.
It doesn't give us credit.
It doesn't give us a download. You can download all you want.
Oh, yeah. Right. It just doesn't.
I'm not trying to make money on YouTube. You gotta. By the way,
don't you have 1 million people to start making money?
You got to have a lot.
1 million followers, something like that.
For on YouTube, yeah, to make money from them. But for on the podcast, we got to have within 30-day period 1,000 downloads. So
we're working on it.
We're at like 920. Who cares? We're just gonna keep going.
Come on, guys, make us that money.
I don't even care about the money. It's all paid for anyway. This is all free stuff. I think if I paid Nick, he'd probably show up. Oh, poor Nick. Love you, Nick.
In other news, the first cruise ship has sailed out of the Baltimore port after the wreckage of the bridge. That I read about that on Tuesday.
Really?
So, yep, the cruise ships are sailing. So that's something. And Donald Trump was.
Japanese got a new cruise ship.
No,
a new whaling. So the Japanese, they're not stopping whaling. They got a new whaling
they're still cool with that. They hate dolphins and whales.
Saw that.
Oh, there. I heard a drum.
That's not it.
Oh, a rim job. Is that what they call that?
It's called a rim shot.
Rim
actually.
shot, not a rim job.
That's Shit is hot, right? This edit's going to be shit. I'm going to be here for 4 hours.
You're going to cut this part out and put it at the beginning.
I'm going to make Nick do all this shit. Like, you didn't show up for a podcast, you have to edit. Okay, so there's a higher quality. We're having some technical difficulties here at the I've Been Tasked With studio.
But he's been tasked with making it sound better than it should.
Yeah.
And it kind of did. It kind of does sound better.
It sounds better. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick... I'm going to move the microphone because I know...
Lower.
We're entering the realm of CJ. Can you guess what I'm playing on the drum set?
I'm going to try my best.
Okay, so I gave him no genres. I gave him no ideas.
Got nothing. I even tried to ask some questions and he wouldn't give me shit.
Yeah, so. Nothing. So here we go. We are recording. Verify. We're on 9 minutes and 41 seconds. This is a microphone facing a speaker because I'm not that good at this stuff.
The wire wasn't working.
The wires suck. So we're just gonna I'll do a bonus track of this later on. It'll be under bonus material. That is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
The bonus material will also include pictures of Dan's routed finger.
No, it will not. Thank you. This is a comedy show. They're funny. No, I wouldn't do that to anybody. I always that picture was bad.
I have it. I asked for it. I'd also showed people at the bar just so you know.
You said, can you send that to me so I can freak people out? I was like, I don't know if I should. That's not fair.
But your face isn't in the picture.
Yes,
just your mangled finger.
Well, still, I'm just I still care about people a little bit. Not on the road though. Screw you guys on the road. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit play now. I will point.
How many songs we got?
It's only just one thing.
One. Okay.
I'll point to you. I play some. So I only played for 12 minutes. And this is about 80 seconds in. I didn't edit any of this. There's probably mistakes and stuff. But part of being an artist is you don't want to put stuff out with mistakes in it. I don't give a crap at this point. I want you guys to know what I sound like playing drums for real.
One of my favorite drummers, when he makes a mistake, he just repeats it four times, and then it's not a mistake anymore.
It's true. That's how it goes sometimes. This is not a drum solo. This is me sitting behind my drum set today after I had my neighbor start cutting his grass, and I said, I'm going to do a 12-minute recording for the podcast. And I did no editing. Here we go. Yep. Boop, bop. God, that's loud, CJ, isn't it?
It's popping.
I do it a few times. I go. Let's see how long it takes for you to get what I'm doing.
It's taking. I'm feeling stumped at the moment.
Hold on.
That's some good hi-hat play there. All right, pause it there for a second.
Okay.
Pause there for a second.
That was it. That was the phrase. It's going to happen again in a different way. I do it. I just going off the top of my head.
I liked what I was hearing.
It's something I had in my head from when I was a child, or when I was younger.
How old?
I never really got into what this is, but which is a hint because some things that I just don't do. So my attention span's not that long, not that big. So here's a hint. Yeah, it's something that my neighbor right there would be really into. He'd be like, "That's it," and he knew it. I texted him. I said, "I'm doing this." He's like, "I know what you were doing. I heard it."
He heard that.
Oh yeah, he knew it.
Shit.
Because he's banging on the window like I'm done with your lawnmower, and I played it again for him. So there was a pause, and then I played again a little bit louder, a little bit harder, so make sure that I accented things. So let's keep going with it.
Roll with it.
And this, I don't know if I can't even say what I want to say because it'll give it away. So here we go. It starts again. a little mistake on that last part, but
I'm stumped, man. I'm hearing Bonham, but I don't think that's what it is.
I'll give you the first 3 notes. Boop, boop, boop.
Mario?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, shit.
That's it. That's Mario Brothers.
It's funny how boop 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 got me.
Boop, boop, boop. I mean, you want me to play? I'm going to keep hitting. I don't know if I was just doing this the whole time. Whatever. It's only 12 minutes of stuff. I'm going to play it for just because I want to be published on the thing with me playing drums. Like, this is me just screwing around. So I'm going to hit play and see what happens.
I don't know that I've ever heard a rock version of the song. That's maybe why the drums didn't get me there, you know?
That was actually pretty badass, that part. I'm going to go back to that. Like, yeah, pretty badass stuff, right?
Yeah, man.
Boop, 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 boop. Not the easiest thing to play, 'cause there's a lot of like weird pauses.
Right. A lot of hold.
Dun 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 onk.
Honk.
Yeah. So that's just me just screwing around. And actually, it sounds freaking amazing coming from the thing directly, but that's just
straight through the wire.
Yeah, straight through the wire. But whatever. We got Mario Brothers. I kind of did the 3 notes. Just give. If I said doot doot doot, that would have probably given anyone.
100% gave it away to me.
God damn it!
What you got me there?
Next time. So next one's going to be like boo doo 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 doo.
Best part. Is that the under? No, that's when you're in the tunnel.
Do 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 do.
And then there's the.
But
there's a whole.
Whatever. However that goes.
The water one.
Da, da, da. Now I did. Spoiler alert. Not spoiler. I don't know what you call it. Last night I did listen to the track on YouTube of the Mario Brothers. You know, season 1, whatever it was.
Did you the first?
Yeah, the first
game.
First when you hit start.
Okay.
On the Nintendo.
Yeah. So, were you listening to it because you knew you wanted to play it? Or
Yeah. I had it planned out that I wanted to do the skit.
I wasn't sure if you like listened to it and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that.
Nah. Okay. So first I went on YouTube and I was like, I typed in Mario Brothers drummer, Mario Brothers 1 on drums, and there's this guy just ridiculous stuff. I mean, stuff that was just like nobody's listening to that. That's you can't
too much noise.
I mean, anybody can play anything fast and all over the place. I could just literally roll and make it sound like one note the whole time, like this guy did. And yeah, it's obviously click, 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 click. I mean, you can do anything you want, but I wanted you couldn't listen to what the drummer was doing and be like, oh, that's Mario Brothers. Like,
right.
If it wasn't going with the track that he was playing to, you couldn't tell. So technically, I kind of want to task myself to do this live, not live, but recorded on video and put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to task myself to do that. But like, we're more like with hi-hat ticky-tickies like you like.
You know I love them hi-hat ticky-tickies.
That kind of stuff.
Speaking of hi-hat ticky-tickies, did you end up going to Chris's bar show? You texted us about it.
I cut my finger off.
That's right, you did. So, you cut your finger off. That's right.
But
now I didn't make it this time.
Oh no, I cut my finger off, but that was the previous Thursday. So the next Thursday, I got called into work.
Oh, Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
But I was working a lot of nights until 1 a.m. and I texted him. I said I was going to bring Mickey Gachelli. That was
son of a bitch.
Cool. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he would have gone, but he, it was the plan.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it. For I got called into work.
I'm going to be there one of these months. So when's the next time he's playing?
I think it's June 20th or June 21st.
Talking about Matthews Dave Band.
The Matthews Dave Band.
At the Point and Still next to the strip club with eggs. The Point and Still Matthews Dave Band.
It was a brunch spot, not a strip club.
It's not a strip club, but it sounds Expectations.
Yes, that's right.
It's next to Expectations or something like that.
And yeah, I think it's like the third Friday of every month.
Yeah, I really did. I texted Chris,
yeah.
He called. He
texted both of us.
Point and Still, third
Friday of every month, I believe.
Every month,
yeah.
Matthews Dave Band. We had Chris in studio. That was a great. I loved asking him how many times does
what
Dave
color
Matthews
pants does he wear?
Yeah, that was a real question. I typed in Dave Matthews facts on the internet, and it showed up. What is he known to wear pants color? And the guy had no idea.
They're like khakis.
I was like, so when he was in the military in 2000 and something, or no, 19 something, whatever. What was his specialty that he went? All this stuff, and he's like, once again, I am not the guy that knows a lot about Dave Matthews. I am just the bass player for Matthews Dave Band.
Guitar player.
The guitar player. Thank you.
Lead guitar.
I will know that when I see him play.
He's very good.
I'm sure he's amazing.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing his whole life.
Really, the band surprised me. And there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm hoping that our promotion will help.
Get there early if you're going to go.
Did you wear your I've been tasked with podcast shirt?
I don't think I had. Oh, yeah, I did.
I ordered
just don't give them press. So
good point.
I'd cut that out. But.
When am I allowed to blast the shirt company that screwed my shirt order up?
Yeah, they should have done the reprint.
I'd see. I'm not going to blast them because I told them that I was going to blast them. That's worse than blasting them, I think. So I'm not going to tell the name of the people I ordered the shirts from, but I ordered shirts and they showed up and they're all bled. Not all of them, but what did I get? 12 shirts or 8 shirts?
I think it was 12.
And 7 out of the 12 or 8 of the 12 were just a mess. I will put them through the washing machine and try and wash them twice, and there's a lot of bleed over. All it is it's just this I've been tasked with podcast. That's all it is. It's like a black shirts with a grayish or tan, whatever color. I hit the button for mauve or whatever.
Mauve. Mine's not mauve.
I don't know what mauve is. What is it? Light gray.
I'd say even dark gray. Charcoal.
Did you see the picture of it?
I have one.
Is it messed up? Is yours messed up a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Mine looked good.
He
took care with those 2XL ones.
Yeah, I guess so. It's so big that it had plenty to bleed over onto. No. There's one on the table there that's a mess. So I sent them the picture of after I washed, they might have gotten, I just gave them away. I don't care. I just was like, here's a shirt. I gave one to, Nick. I gave one to so-and-so. I gave one to my brother. He does karaoke. I said, just wear it. I don't care if it's got bleed over. So then the lady says, I said, well, this one's really bad. So I sent her the picture of the worst one.
Right.
And she's like, well, I want a picture laid out of 10 shirts that are a mess, and I'll replace all the shirts that are a mess. And I was like, no, I want to know, because I want to order sweatshirts and I want to order hats and stuff. I want to know that you can print the full order. So after 9 or 10 emails, and I said, look, I'm going to find a vendor. If you want to prove to me you can print a full order without a screw up, I will order more stuff from you. But I want to know that you can do it. She's like, well, send the ones that are screwed up and I'll replace them. It's like, no, anyone can print one shirt well. Right. I could do that in my backyard or my basement or whatever. I could do that if I order the iron on stuff or,
right.
And it would look better probably.
Screen print is nice.
Not these ones.
Not these ones, but when done correctly.
So
I used to screen print t-shirts.
So
when I worked at the Boston.
Okay, well, you may be making more shirts. And I ordered.
I don't have the whole setup. We don't have the setup here. You need a lot of chemicals.
It's only 12 shirts.
It's a lot of chemicals. You need a lot of shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's
to create the screens.
She's like her name's Tamara. I'm allowed to say that. She's saying send this, and I said, look, I gave them out. They're garbage. but anybody like in the concrete business, if you see something screwed up, you know why it's screwed up. You don't go, well, let me see all the things no, that's a mess up. You don't need
Fix
to.
it.
Yeah, you know what happened. It's not a one thing. It happened different on all the different prints, worse. And I said, this is the worst one, but there's other ones that all vary. And I said, there's a second picture of another shirt it's some bleed over. And, it's acceptable, I guess, but that's not what I paid for.
No, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
So anyway,
I wouldn't purchase this shirt if it was a Nike shirt that had this bleed on it.
Yeah. So right before we started this podcast today, I sent her an email. I said, you just lost a customer. Take care.
Hard ass Dan.
Hey, I told her my intentions. I said, look, I just want to know if you can do it or not. And she's like, well, we'll give you a refund on the one. And I was like, well, what about the second shirt I sent you? But I'm not going to fight. I don't care about the money.
Right.
I want to know if she can print good stuff.
And care a little bit about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I don't. It was the money spent. It's like She's like, well, you used the t-shirts. Yeah, but they're garbage. It's like you got all your 12-pack of orange sodas, but 6 of them were bad. I want another 12-pack of sodas.
Right.
You're like, I deserve a full load here. I ordered the full load. Give me the full load the way I ordered it. Don't sit there and be like, I'll reprint the things.
Fully loaded.
So I'm not going to blast them because CJ said not to, and I do listen to my friends. That's one of the reasons I have other people.
It's like Roadhouse, man. The original one, not the remake. Be nice.
The Roadhouse. Is that the one with the gopher?
No, that's
Caddyshack. I love that. Bill Murray, wasn't he in that?
Bill Murray was in Caddyshack, not in Roadhouse.
I liked Bill Murray's character in. It wasn't The Walking Dead. It was
the Double Tap. Zombieland.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was good. I had fun watching that.
It was just goofy enough to be worth watching.
Yeah.
And he comes out, he looks like a zombie, and they're like, no, he is that. And they end up shooting him anyway.
He's like, I'm alive.
He's like, I'm alive. I was just in disguise. Like, he's walking through his house was nice. I wonder if that was actually his house.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So I'm happy with this podcast. The one thing this is something I wanted to put out there and I'm just going to read it off because I wrote this a few weeks ago. If you're having a feeling of life is hard or like, why? Really? Do what works for me. Walk outside and pretend that it is literally Christmas Eve and it just started snowing. Act as if it was the year 1965 and pleasantries are abundant and deliver that Christmas morning hello and hi, how are you? How are you? How are you this morning?
What brought you to 1965?
Because there was no cell phones. And they had
there
cars.
There weren't cell phones in 1995.
Yeah, but 65 there weren't. That's why you asked me.
There weren't in 95 either.
But 1965 they had awesome cars, like the big, huge wheels with the white walls.
They did have nicer cars in the 60s.
I mean, imagine, right?
64 was the first Mustang.
I'm trying to paint a picture. It's Christmas Eve, Christmas morning kind of thing. Say hi, how are you guys? With the yes sirs and the yes ma'ams and happy sounding. Can't read my own writing. Happy sounding. I have no idea what I wrote. Happy sounding. ... I think is what it says. Let me see if I wrote another side to this note. But yeah, I just
look on
pretend.
The back.
If you pretend like you're happy, you're on the right path.
You are your actions.
I mean, some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm not the only one that does that.
No, everybody does. Nobody wants to wake up.
Hello.
I have to believe that. Nobody actually wants to get out of bed.
What was it? Office Space, Cooperating House, Bay, but is speaking. Just a moment.
Just a moment.
Just pretend like it. And maybe you might feel like it a little bit. And you might take 4 days of you doing that and just keep pushing it.
Yeah. If you're really mad up in your head, but are still speaking nice and all that, you are your actions. Perception.
Oh, that's a good point.
Perception is reality. So what people are seeing you do is what everybody else thinks you are.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Everybody else will think you're happy, even if you're not. It's up to you whether you give a shit what other people think.
For an hour before this podcast, I was nervous. Every time we do a podcast, I'm nervous. I don't know why, and I
kind of get nervous about it, and I
start sweating.
But usually, once I get in the seat, it's
fine.
It kind of just rolls.
It rolls. It happens.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to 15 things we were going to talk about. Another thing was Tinder is for rookies. This comes from Megan. We spoke about this in the very beginning. Tinder is for rookies. So I wrote it on the whiteboard there.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at the chair.
I'm pointing at the whiteboard.
At? Okay.
It's on the top right-hand corner.
I do see it over there. Okay.
Tinder is for rookies. It was actually some sort of meme that she sent me that says, this is finding the right woman, advanced tips. So don't use Tinder. Go to Facebook Marketplace. Okay. Search for wedding dresses for sale. It'll show you single women that are recently divorced. From there,
or left at the altar.
From there, you can search by size.
Oh, that's smooth, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
I love it.
I love Megan. She's great. She's a kind person. If I ever have a bad day, and I did the other day, I called her or texted her or whatever. And I was like, she made me happy, made me feel better.
Because she told you that?
No, that was she texted me that out of the blue because she knows I had a rant on the last podcast where skin and bones, MFer kind of thing,
right?
And all that is I feel like I don't know, like if people are pushing other people to get better, that helps. I feel like it helps, but it might not. It might just offend, and I don't mean to offend. I mean to say like it is a choice to be morbidly obese. There's no doubt about it. It's not. You might be. It's a really hard choice, and I get it. And if you're a morbidly obese person listening,
as a fat guy,
you're not fat. You're larger.
I wouldn't call myself morbidly obese.
Let me show you a picture of what I took on the TV.
I understand what it is.
She's on Fox 45. She's
as a
700-pound woman.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm under 3.
Yeah,
so
no, you're not huge.
But I'm a fat guy, and sometimes I still have trouble putting the snacks down, man. I'll be eating them chips, man, like put them down, and then my lizard brain just picks them shit back up and shoves them in my face.
Good. It hits your lips.
But I am not 700 pounds, and
I'm not super skinny,
and I don't want to be.
No, I've lost, and I'm not bragging. I've lost 80 to 90 pounds in the past 5-6 years.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome.
It's a lot.
I probably need to lose at least half that.
It was hard, and it's a matter of like, do I need, even with veggie burgers, do I need 2? No, I don't really need 2. Right. I need 1. Do I need a lot of barbecue sauce? No, I need some. I feel like I need some.
I feel like my stomach is always saying no. My mouth is always saying yes.
Your mind, it's
like I want that taste of pizza. Like I eat a slice of pizza and like, I want another piece of pizza now.
And back,
or something like that.
Look this up. If you doubt what I'm getting ready to say here, when I say it, if you doubt it, look it up, because I'm not just quoting things. Cheese does have an addictive ingredient that are addictive, something that happens by the process of making it. That's
both things I brought up feature cheese, Doritos, and pizza.
Cheese tastes great. I get it. It is really good. And it's in freaking everything. It's in everything. But cheese has the same addictive quality as heroin. It might not give you the same effect as heroin does, but it's addictive.
One makes you fat and one makes you skinny.
Oh, man, I don't know if heroin will make you skinny. It'll kill you. I know that, and I feel sorry for everyone.
It won't always kill you. Like I said, my dad's still kicking. Oh my
God. Poor CJ.
So, still kicking. I think he turns, what's this year? 24? 72 this year.
God, that's old. And still into the...
he's not...
Is that what they call H? What is that?
He's not shooting up. He's more on the... Now, he did shoot up for decades.
I couldn't do it.
But he's moved on to the pills.
My God.
Yeah. Most people go from pills to the heroin. He went from the heroin to the pills.
I don't want everyone to be like, that guy Dan's a dickhead, but I am. But that's not the specific aura of what I'm trying to put out. I have, my patience is thin at some point. I've been hurt a lot in my life, and I've seen a lot of people die. One of my best friends died from a heroin overdose. I had to go to his funeral. I mean, I'm not the only one that's done that. I'm not special.
I had a guy that overdosed. He didn't die. He's a good friend of mine. He moved down to Florida. I mean, this guy I had, he was cutting grass with me. He was stealing stuff out of my, I remember, I didn't even say that guy died, but his name was Dave Miller. Mm-hmm. And I was living in Virginia. I moved, I sold my house. He stole all sorts of stuff from me, and good guy, really good guy, great family. Right. But he needed his fix. So it wasn't it wasn't because he wanted to steal from you. I didn't know what to tell his father. Jesus. I'm sitting there, you go through the line, I was like, he's like, you should move back here. And I was like, well, Dave's not here. I don't know if I want to move back. I liked having Dave, and probably the worst thing you could have said.
But that's what I felt like saying at the time.
Right.
It sucks, I know, but I'm looking at the guy and he's not going to be around. That was my main thing of like, that's why I wanted to move to Perryville. That
he
was
a friend of mine.
He was my friend. Now I'm going to come out here and not have any friends. No, I'm not moving back here. I'm moving.
Did you move here after that?
I moved after Virginia. Yeah, I mean, after a transition of staying with my parents and stuff. And
this was the next place you purchased?
Yes,
I mean, after
that house, we rented a lot and got a divorce, and then lived with my mom for some as I'm trying to save up some money. And then I realized I had some stocks from the last company I worked for. I was like,
nice.
Holy shit.
Did they
I'm cashing out.
Did they work out well?
See ya, Mom.
Did the stocks work out well for you?
Yeah,
nice.
It worked out really good. So, and I didn't waste it, you know.
Yeah, you bought this beautiful
place, and I spent like $6,000 building the basement.
And you're pretty friendly with everybody, at least on the block.
I help everyone. I'm not the nicest,
but somebody move in.
Oh, I saw that. I couldn't tell what they were doing.
I haven't met any of them.
Same building, all the way at the end. Anything you want to promote for the? We're going to end this podcast pretty quickly here.
Yeah. No, nothing to promote. Go O's, and see y'all next time.
Go Orioles, hon.
Orioles.
Oh, he said hon. Oh, down there, Orioles.
Calm down. It's fine.
Calm down. It's fine. And they're more Catholic Christian kind of based, but I'm not, into all that. But they're not explicit lyrics. So this is too much good to them.
Is this funny or is this more existential discussion?
It's a different type of podcast. I enjoy our podcast listening because I agree with everything we say.
Right.
Of course. That doesn't mean everyone else agrees with it, but if you want something a little bit less structured, we're not structured. I feel like ours is more structured. Like we're going to talk about this. This is what we're into, and then these guys are just talking, and they're sponsored, promoted, and stuff.
They're making that big money.
They're making big money. They're probably I'm guessing at probably 110 a month or something for what they're doing. I'm totally guessing. I have no inside information, but like they're on podcast 212.
It's going to take a while for you to get me my $200 a show.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's ways we can make money. We could be like,
I'm joking.
Dave's Carpet Store, So if you know somebody that wants to do something.
We have these local places, man.
Yeah.
Pappas.
I'm not the only one in this podcast.
The Raven.
I'm bringing in Mickey Coachella. That's a hard sell. That's a hard thing.
That's a big pull.
It's a big pull. He is, if you guys are still here, thank you. But Mickey Coachella will be in this season.
You know what I mean.
I'm freaking excited to have a nationally known comedian come in. And we're going to be, I told him, I said, we thrive on crazy stories on the road. Things that he's
sure
seen a lot. And he said, he was like, I know some good stories.
I'm sure he can do clean work, but are you going to have issues with him cussing? Yeah, like you did?
No issues. I mean, I started off our last one with Kendrick Lamar, and I said, CJ, thank you for being here.
Oh, glad to do it, and I will see y'all next week, or listen to you. You'll hear me next week. I'm not going to see shit.
Not going to see. Are you going to be here for next week?
What's the date?
I have no idea.
I know I'm not going to be here on the 20th. It's my birthday weekend. I'll be in OC.
Okay, I'll be there with you. I'll bring the podcast board.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
If you invite me, you have to invite me. You're like, it's like that time you had shrimp. It's not enough.
It's never.
Is that why your wife is so skinny?
Yes. I took all the shrimp.
Very nice. Good stuff, CJ. Thank you.